Welcome to the Soulful Mystics podcast. I'm Steph.
And I'm Julie. And we are intuitive hypnotists, sharing our journey along the way. Hello, Mystics. I'm Julie. If you've been with us a while, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. We are so glad you found us. Steph and I are intuitive hypnotists. We met in our hypnotic arts class in 2022 and joined forces to create this podcast to share our stories, our sessions, our client sessions with permission, of course, and to create a safe and loving space to be open, vulnerable, and share our journeys, our growth, our struggles, and hopefully inspire others along the way. We release a new episode every Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe. I want to emphasize that we only share client sessions with permission. If you have worked with us or want to work with us, please know that the integrity of our clients is sacred and we will never share a session without permission. If you ever want to share your session on the pod, we are happy to cut out anything that is too private or personal. In today's episode, my lovely client and fellow hypnotic arts alumni, Kim, shares her session where she channels Archangel Metatron, who provides insights on how to harmonize our lives, the rainbow ray, and much more. This was such a profound session, and I want to thank Kim for sharing with us. And just a heads up about the audio quality, when someone is in a hypnotic state and channeling another being, their voice may fluctuate, sometimes becoming low and quiet, while other times not. While I've done my best to adjust this during editing, it's not flawless, but nevertheless, the session offers invaluable information of our purpose, highlighting that our natural state is one of harmony, and it provides insights on how we can realign ourselves when life feels out of balance. Your support means the world to us, so don't forget to like, follow, and share. If you are loving the podcast and have an extra moment in your busy schedule, please consider leaving us a 5-star rating and review. This genuinely helps us to grow our community of beautiful, like-minded souls. And the Soulful Mystics podcast now has a landing page with an email list. A huge thank you to Steph for creating it. She gets all the credit. The link is in the show notes, so please head over and join our email list so you can stay up to date with us, our offerings, and any group events we offer in the near future. Remember, Steph is offering a self-hypnosis workshop, so be sure to check that out. We are super excited to have a central location that will link you to both of our websites. And as a token of our gratitude and love for you all, enjoy an exclusive discount on both of our offerings with coupon code SMP10, redeemable on both of our websites. All right, enjoy the episode. Engaging all of your senses. And when you're ready, please tell me what you're aware of here.
The being who's presenting himself is masculine. He's telling me his name is Moses, but he also was Melchizedek, I'm not sure, and Metatron. I'm missing something with the Melchizedek that I'm not sure, but it's all right. It's not important. Showing me his path from being human and walking as a human we knew as Moses. And then they're sort of jumping me around in timelines and showing me it's not true to say that it's the same being. It's like a column of, it's a ray. Moses and Melchizedek. I have no knowledge. Kim has no knowledge of Melchizedek. And Metatron. I am familiar with Archangel Metatron.
Okay.
But they're showing me that they are of a ray, of a frequency, and I'm being reminded that, as an example, Metatron, in one of his human incarnations, he was a scribe, but that's part of what he does now, is act as a scribe on the other side. And so then I'm being shown sort of like the how Santa has a list, right? Like everything is recorded.
Mm-hmm.
All of our thoughts and all of our choices and all of the directions we choose to go and those we choose not to go. So then they're showing me that in that way, it's sort of like the tree of life in the way we stand as a tree. Each branch is different possibilities, and then each smaller branch coming off, and then each each leaf becomes a like a living, breathing expression. So they're overlaying this massive, like each leaf is a lifetime, but also each leaf is when they're zooming me out, it's like they're zooming me out to see it as a whole tree rather than focusing on one leaf, because I'm getting so interested in the leaf and the vein work and right, how the leaf is not the point. The tree is the point. And the tree is just not a replica exactly, but it's a representation of the greater tree of life, of the greater tree of life that we all come from as a spark that we're birthed from.
Wow.
Like a seed from that great tree.
Beautiful.
During the induction, an energy came up behind me and sort of wrapped its arms around me from behind, but was in my energetic body. It's supporting before I went through the gate. Archangel Metatron is saying that's his energy. He was coming behind me to sort of usher me through, and he's reminding me we have a long history that I have yet to uncover.
Wow.
Yeah, I have some resistance around this. He's showing me that I have resistance around what he's saying. So he's showing me that I'm like him, that I participate in the angelic realm as well, but I also am here on earth, and he did that as well. And that's why that's part of this history we have. That's part of the ways our energies are. He's showing me sort of twisted together. They're like vines growing together in a way. And that I work with the archangels a lot, but he's calling me forth, and like I work directly with him, but I've never really seen it that way.
Wow. Yeah. And just take as much time as you need here in the space with him to absorb as much information as you need to.
Showing me a few different things, like he touched my heart center, and showed me this rainbow light. It's very similar to what's in the spring that we're beside. I work with this light, and he's showing me it's all the rays. That when we come down here, we sort of choose an array or a range of ray that we will embody, and this light contains all the rays. And so he's showing me that we sort of have the opportunity to not really shed the ray, but emerge into he's showing it to me as it's also a fire. It's like it can be shown as water, it can be shown as fire, but it contains all the rays, it's all the colors, it's all the frequencies. And he's saying that's sort of the portal through. And there's a kind of funny, they've been showing me a unicorn that hangs out by this rainbow ray. And he's showing me that follow the unicorn. The unicorn has a point on its head for a reason. It breaks through barriers. It shatters belief. It helps for harmonization and light frequencies. Part of what's happening is that the ray that I work with is limiting me, and I'm being called forward to allow the limitation to fall away, that I'm loyal to the ray that I have inhabited, and I'm being asked to honor that and allow it to sort of dissolve. It's sort of shattered, and then almost like I was inside of a upside down ice cream cone of my ray, and it was just shattered and then kind of dissolved and then sort of swirled into rainbow colors around me. So he's pointing to that's part of what I could detect that was hidden, that I was pointing to, that I could see was like, right, he's saying you couldn't see it through that ray, you couldn't see. Yeah, and he's pointing, saying, you know the way, you know how to go, you know. It's not about the story that's unfolding here, it's about a greater story that's unfolding for the planet. And I get that, and that has implications far greater than here, right? He's reminding me that this divine ray that embodies all the rays. It's where the light codes come from. This is the path through. This is the path through to the oneness. This is where the polarization gets stripped away, and our rays can be part of. Oh, interesting. They're part of the tools that helped us to navigate in the polarity, and that they keep us in the polarity, and that we're being beckoned, we're being called beyond, we're being asked to go further than we've gone before in form this or any planet. That's not exactly right, but it's the transition that has not been done before in this way. It's showing like we need to shoot like arrows into this energy, and we assist one another in the doing of it, because we've been primed by the ray we came in with. We've been primed to be able to heal and understand and participate in the world from that place. And now is the time for the rays to sort of braid together. And as we do so, we lose our ray. We don't lose it because all the rays come to us, right? They all join together. But it keeps showing me different metaphors for like and the unicorn sort of also has this strange Pegasus like wings at times, sort of moving through atmospheres and galaxies, and the unicorn's horn sort of breaks the barriers or breaks through the limitations that have been set here for us for the purpose of being able to participate up to this point. And now it's sort of like breaking through like a sonic boom, right? Like breaking through a barrier that's very real, but we don't perceive it.
Wow. With this imagery of the upside down cone and your ray dissolving, does that mean that he helped bridge you to merge that into the new rays, or all of the rays? Have you now done that?
I believe so.
Good. And so does he have any more information that he'd like to provide you, whether it's him or this unicorn or anyone else? Any other messages that they'd like you to know at this time?
I'm having a hard time understanding. I'm asking for more clarity. He's saying the light is its limitation. The light is its own limitation. And so I'm asking for more. What does that mean?
Oh, okay.
And he's saying in this field, the darkness is defined by the light, and that we focus on both, and that I'm trying to understand. So the darkness is, let's say, he doesn't really like me saying darkness.
Okay.
The energies that are not of the light are being pulled forth into the light, but that it has its own limitations. So we can act as like filters to assist the energies that aren't ready or don't know how. It's not just energies outside of us, it's energies inside of us as well. So that's what we perceive as programming and conditioning and limitations within ourselves, are those aspects that aren't fully of the light. But I'm not understanding what he's saying about the light having the limitations. Oh, like our understanding and acknowledging. Like, for example, when I work with someone and they have an energy that they attracted to themselves that came to them to help them with something that has served its purpose, it's making its way to the light through us. And that's part of what we're designed to do. And so I still don't understand the light has its limitations. There's like it's not, those words aren't exactly right, but the light, let's say I'm gonna, the words that I'm using aren't like light and shadow and darkness aren't appropriate, but because there's a filter that has to happen, a filtering process that has to happen in order for energies that are not of light to come into the light, and we actually can be that filtering medium. And being shown that nature can also be that filtering medium, that nature can assist us as well, that we're all but it's sort of like I'm being shown the earth and her inhabitants. We've all volunteered for this duty, if you will, this this job to act as the medium between, to help facilitate the shift from shadow into light. And the light has no exceptions. It has no, I mean, it has no, the boundaries are so strong on the light. It can only allow in that which is willing to return to the light, and that we sort of stand between, and the earth also acting sort of as a magnet to draw to forward the unharmonized energies, and the earth and her inhabitants. And by that, I'm being shown that understanding is not just humans, but we're all in the service of this like rainbow light frequency. That's all. It's sort of our road to all, our path to all. And that we are, while we're in human form, we are sort of the medium between, we sort of can embody, we can touch both and can move through us both. And that's why the harmonization is so important. It's part of the process. As we harmonize, we anchor that harmony, and it assists the earth, and it assists all of humanity. And that the more time we spend in harmony, that's why this one craves the harmony. The harmony is of service to the greater.
Beautiful. As we are magnets to draw forward these unharmonized energies, is that how sometimes this unharmonized energy gets stuck within us? And is that why sometimes people have struggles because they aren't sure how to move this unharmonized energy to the light?
Right. In order to move the harmonized energy into light, you must also be anchored into the earth. You need her support. The anchoring below and above is part of the effectiveness. We can't be effective without it. Just as the tree needs to be grounded in the earth and have the wind move through it, the sun's effectiveness reaches all the way down through the roots and into the earth. Just as the earth nourishes the tree, we're like the tree. We stand in the middle, but we have to.
For anyone who maybe isn't understanding this, or maybe they haven't learned it yet, or maybe they're unwilling to, is there anything that we can do to better encourage this or to help others along to bring them more into harmony and to ensure that they are anchored both into the earth and above?
The harmonization is our natural state. And so we crave it, and we actively grounding and connecting up is something that is part of the hygiene. It's part of the what you would call hygiene. And it should be done more than once a day, throughout the day, with the attention in the center on the harmonization, because there's constantly energies being asked to be drawn forward and through. And in the human form, we can assist with that as long as we're grounded and connected.
When you say that this should be done more than once throughout the day, is there a sweet spot? Is there a certain number of times throughout the day? Or is it just as we feel called to do it throughout the day? What does that look like?
If we were to walk about our day and focus on the harmonization in our heart, we would notice when we are thrown off balance and would then be able to use that signal, just information. We would be able to use that signal to ground, to attend to our hygiene. Ground down, connect up, feel the healing frequencies, and return ourselves to, attune ourselves to the harmonization. In the beginning, it would be done many times throughout the day. We would become more and more adept to our natural state, which is all in this form, to be very firmly grounded and connected, as well as connected down and up.
Thank you so much for all of that information, and such a great thing to bring our awareness to and put more into practice. And it seems like it's something that is very simple, but I think maybe with the distractions of our day-to-day lives, sometimes people get pulled away from that. And so it's a great reminder to just ground down, connect up, and feel full and attune ourselves to the harmonization.
It is that simple for us to do in the environment we're in. It becomes more simple over time.
I love that. Is there any other information that you would like to relay to Kim before we move on to her questions? I think some of these questions might have already been answered, but just in case.
What was said was that she knows Yeah, I'm doing this interesting dance. She knows that her questions are no longer relevant. What has begun to come in are the goddess frequencies, which are assisting all of us at this time. So the goddess energies are stepping forward and sort of, they've been showing up and standing in the cardinal directions for me. And they're stepping forward and sort of surrounding and showing me how they can assist at this time.
Okay.
To hold the harmonization, sort of like nurturing it like you would a baby. It's like the seed. It is what our spark from the tree in the beginning, the spark that we are that came from the tree of life. That is the spark that resides within us that knows that harmonization. That's our mission here, and the goddess energies are here to assist us, that nurturing.
Beautiful. And is there anything else these goddess energies would like to bring forth? Any other information that they have for you, or guidance, or maybe advice on how you can further connect with them?
They're reminding me to be more playful with ritual. I use ritual, but they're reminding me to play with it, sort of dance with it. Yeah, that I've been, and they're showing me part of the ray sort of shattering around me. There was a rigidity to the ray that I've been working with for so long on this earth plane, and it had a formality that is not called for. Whereas I'm being invited away from. The goddesses invite us to sort of dance and play and laugh and be joyful. And they're showing me that the seriousness sort of it has a heaviness that the energies are very playful, and they can assist me with that, with more playful nature.
Good. And is there anything else that either the goddess energies or any other energies would like to come forward and relay to you today?
So as you ask that, the space around me fills with thousands of beings that stand around us. We stand in the center, and they're here to assist. They're here bearing witness. They're here. They're there because they can't be here, but they're assisting in the way that they can. They show me with bated breath that's like we are all surrounded by so many. Yeah, and it's very interesting. Normally this would be very humbling, and they're showing me that was the ray that I stood in, kept me in a more humble state, and now we're equal. There's not like they see me and I see them. We're equal.
Beautiful. If anyone would like to step out or move out of the current ray, maybe it no longer serves them, how would they know that this ray no longer serves them? And how would they know to step out of that?
So when you ask that, what they show me is that the ray is like a ray, and that you rise to the completion of the ray, and then it becomes like a point, and you can't go through the point without it dissolving, without the dissolution of the ray. And so we're comfortable in our ray until we're not. And when it looks like everything we know to do we're not able to harmonize from that place any longer, then we know it's time to merge further into the greater ray. There's no right or wrong or good or bad. It's not like humans want to show this as an attainment. It's not an attainment. It's a natural progression, but it's not good or bad or right or wrong. It just is a place that we come to naturally. They're showing me that it became like a cage for me, that it took me as I went as far as I could with it. And so now it was time to expand into the greater without the ray being opened.
And I think that makes sense for what you were saying at the beginning of our session, of how you were feeling this disharmonization. You were feeling that uncomfortableness. And so that's how you knew it was time to move on.
Right.
Something wasn't right anymore. When it makes you uncomfortable, that's how we know that it's time to explore further.
Right.
All right. And before we wrap up today, is there anyone else that would like to come forward and speak with you today?
No, there was just the concentric circles of beings standing around an array of all different beings, just bowed. So I bowed back.
Beautiful.
And they're just sort of showing me the way forward is to continue to follow the rainbow ray. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's so much more expansive.
Yeah. if or when this happens again, maybe it won't, maybe it will, where you start to feel this harmonized, is this when you would call in the unicorn to help you break through into another ray? Or now that you are in the rainbow ray, this is your expansion?
The unicorn can assist in exploring more about the rainbow ray. From where I stand, I can't see the need to break through the rainbow ray, but that doesn't mean that isn't true.
Such beautiful messages today. And thank you to everyone who stepped forward to bring these messages to Kim and to me and to everyone else. And just thank you so much for this. And Kim, before we come back, would you like to do a body scan to see if there is any kind of energetic healing needed at this time?
Yes, as you said that, there's a ball of energy in my high heart, the heart and the throat, and it's just a sphere that's ready to ascend, and it doesn't. I've been aware of it and I haven't been able to release it. It's just ready to ascend, and I'm filling that energy back up with that like a liquid gold divine, but it also contains all the rainbow frequency too. Yes, and the sphere is sort of like a bubble just floating up and going home, returning. When I'm asking, it was sort of a placeholder waiting for me to get this. It was just holding the space, so I could feel the density and know that now it's just like its own little rainbow bubble floating up.
And take as much time as you need to fill that space back in with this divine light. And whenever you feel it's complete, just let me know.
It's complete, but as I complete that, there's sort of a shell almost that was that bubble cracked out of, that floated up. So the shell is now sort of being washed and released. It doesn't need to ascend. It just will go. It just was a kind of a protective device for that energy that was holding place in me.
Good. Yeah. And just take your time, allowing every last bit to dissolve away. There's no rush here. And when you feel that it is completely dissolved, just let me know.
There's like an effervescent energy that's coming in, that sort of breaking down all the last stuff.
Good. Yeah, just take your time and allow this process to fully complete. You're doing amazing.
I think that's it.
Good.
And that's it for today's episode. Until next time, stay curious.
Stay mystical.